That the leadership capacity, and the 4 seniors are coming out. We've talked to them, we've watched them all season long, and they know what to do when it's time to step up and stand out.
Career game number 103 for Q Morrison today. Number 117 for Gabby Connolly. Number 118 for Maya Caldwell. Number 120 for Jenna Stady. Will it translate to a win here against Kentucky? We're about to find out. Opening tip controlled by Georgia. We're underway in quarterfinal number 2. Gabby Connolly to Q Morrison, guarded by Ryan Howard, and an early turnover for Georgia.
And one of the things that we continue to talk about is just when teams, the first time they get a chance to play on this floor, just the flow of the game, and this is going to be something to watch. Kentucky played yesterday, so they have a little bit of experience. They started off slow against Florida and then eventually got into their rhythm. Well, Georgia comes, this is their first time playing on the floor, so it'll be interesting to see how quickly they get into their flow.
Connolly's a good shooter. If you sit back a little bit, comes up short, and Patterson, who's got great speed, has got the rebound. Massengill. Connolly tipped it forward, and it will be Kentucky basketball. As you take a look at the starting 5 for the Wildcats, 17-7 on the season after the win yesterday. They finished 5th in the SEC. Massengill, Patterson, McKinney, Tatiana Wyatt joining Howard in the starting 5.
And this is a starting 5 that you can tell that they have a little bit of experience playing with each other. But honestly, when you have Ryan Howard on the floor, anybody that you put around her, she can help make it look better.
Massengill on the pull-up. And Connolly's got the rebound. Talked about this veteran group. It's joined by Jordan Isaacs, who's a sophomore, but really the glue of this Georgia team, in the words of Joni Taylor. You don't hear a compliment like that given to a sophomore with a team full of graduates, but that's the case for Georgia. Joni Taylor really thinks highly of Isaacs. First points of the game for Georgia go to Maya Caldwell. Once again, the shot clock winds down for Kentucky. There is Isaacs defensively against McKinney. Good D. And batted out of bounds by Kentucky. Georgia basketball. And there is the Coach of the Year in the SEC. 18 wins this year, 3 wins against top 25s. And Coach Q Morrison to a Co-Defensive Player of the Year award, sharing that award with Aaliyah Boston out of South Carolina. Sarah Ashley Barker, who's been cleared to play today after missing the last game because she was in the concussion protocol. Member of the all-freshman team. We'll see her come off the bench.
Well, it's funny, when we were talking yesterday to Q Morrison about her Co-Defensive Player of the Year, you just saw the light, the bright light from her smile. She was just so happy about being named Co-Defensive Player of the Year. And, you know, playing defense is hard. Everybody wants to focus on offense, but defense is hard. When you could tell that she had a lot of pride around that.
Wyatt went for a tumble. Looks like she tripped over Stady. Nothing called, and it will be Georgia basketball in the corner.
Kentucky struggling already to get on the scoreboard, and you know, one of the things we watched yesterday is they kind of tried to figure out how to get themselves going, how to get that flow, and Florida came out just rolling. And Stady with the turnaround jump shot.
Stady's got excellent touch offensively, the leading scorer and rebounder, second team all-conference selection, averaging better than 14 points a game and 8 rebounds a game, and leads the conference in block shots. And this is a very strong defensive team. That's the way it's always been under Joni Taylor, and you can see again as Georgia has made it very difficult on Kentucky here in the opening minutes. They get the stops on defense, and they can get what they want offensively if they get it to Stady in the post.
Well, Stady posts up so big, and like you want to force her one direction or the other, but she's gotten a lot better this year in being able to turn over either shoulder to be able to score. But one of the things, going back to Joni or Coach Taylor with the defense, her mantra, defense travels. So it doesn't matter where you are and what gym you're in, our defense should be there.
They're +5 in rebounding margin as well, good for 4th in the conference. So far, Ryan Howard has not been involved at all in the offense for Kentucky. Dre Edwards into the game. Here she is with it across half court. And now Howard. to Edwards on the roll to the basket for the first two for Kentucky.
And she makes it look so easy. Dre Edwards comes up, but Ryan Howard, she just forces teams to have to put multiple players on her, and she gets that nice little bounce pass to Edwards.
Morrison. Stady has three-point range. Not this time. Caldwell picks it up and will go to the free throw line.
Well, interestingly enough, Chastity Patterson trying to box out Caldwell, and she gets right around her and gets that bucket, get to the free throw line. But that's the pass right there, just right on target, right on time from Ryan Howard to Dre Edwards.
Howard had 4 assists in the victory against Florida yesterday to go along with her 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals.
Had a nice little game, huh?
I'd say that was just a nice little Thursday afternoon in South Carolina.
You know?
Nia Caldwell, part of that core 4 that Steffi talked about, pursuing her master's in nonprofit management and leadership, coming off a career-high 27 in her last game against Florida, after scoring just 8 points in her previous 3 games. And it's been a theme that we've talked about, we've seen so far in the opening days of this tournament. Players really elevating their games at the right time into March. And maybe it doesn't feel like a typical March because teams had so few non-conference games. Many of these teams in the SEC had limited conference schedules because of COVID and weather as Stady gets the block.
I think, Eric, when you get to March time, you know it's tournament time no matter how many games you've played or have not played. And you could tell these teams coming in, and Jordan Nixon just talked about it after the last game. She said, look, the energy that is in this building, you know it's tournament time.
Even with limited attendance allowed here for the SEC tournament, there's Q Morrison knocking it away from Ryan Howard. The co-defensive player of the year turns defense into offense.
Q Morrison's energy, you just can't not have it. And when you have a player like that on your team, it forces everybody on the team to elevate to the level that she plays at.
And Q is going to be attached at the hip to Ryan Howard today, if you didn't figure that out already. That'll be a great matchup to watch whenever they're head-to-head. Patterson, easy rebound for Stady. That's her 3rd already. Stady will try again for 3. Isaacs with the putback, no.
Yeah, it's interesting when you watch the game thus far, the difference between the energy levels for both teams. Georgia playing with so much more energy, and now granted they did not play yesterday as Kentucky did, but
Stady the big running the lane, and a timeout called by Kentucky. Q Morrison with steals, with scoring, with assists. And maybe the highlight so far was that steal, taking it away from Ryan Howard.
Well, I can't say enough. Q Morrison, when her hands get on the ball, co-defensive player of the year coming at you. Defense to offense.
Georgia coming over to her house and just comforting her because she needed it, and they couldn't be happy for Q and the season that she's had.
Well, that's also a part too. When you try to be a leader when you're hurt, you don't want to show your teammates how you're suffering, right? You want to try to shield your teammates and not impact them that way. Here's Howard with the shot clock winding down, and it's a rebound for Georgia. Great start for Georgia so far. They've kept Ryan Howard in check. Just that assist on the basket by Edwards. And the shooting numbers not very good right now for Kentucky against this Georgia defense.
Well, Georgia definitely has upped the ante, and they are playing defense at a high level. And the big thing for them will be, can you keep the defensive intensity for 40 minutes?
Nia Caldwell keeping that intensity, keeping that momentum going from that career high her last time out. She's got an early 6.
And Kentucky just playing at a lower energy level than this Georgia team, but you know what's at stake today.
Morrison defending Howard. Edwards back outside. Robin Benton into the game for Kentucky. No. Edwards rips it away from Morrison. Stady is called for the foul. Here you see Kyra Elsie, the Kentucky head coach, her first year as their head coach. After getting the job in an interim role in November, she was elevated to the full-time role in December. 17 wins, 5 against ranked opponents, and of course the Player of the Year. Plays for Kentucky.
Well, Caldwell has been at the helm before. I mean, as far as an assistant coach, just the coaches that she's been under, and one tribute she gave to Matthew Mitchell, just how he had really put her in a position to continue to learn and get better, and of course Coach Dunn on the staff prior to. So a lot of opportunities to get better. Stay down low, and I love the expression.
Uses that length to get the rebound, gets the putback and the foul.
Nobody boxes her out. The ball comes straight to her. Stady, Ryan Howard grabs her arm.
You see Treasure Hunt into the game. And the foul was called on Howard, her first personal. And Joni Taylor could not be happier right now. When you think about the adjustment that you talked about, that you're coming into a game, you haven't played here yet, so you got those nerves. It looks like it's reversed right now between these two teams. Georgia is just fine making their debut here on this SEC tournament court, and Kentucky already down by 13 thanks to 1 of 11 shooting so far.
Well, I think it's just the excitement of tournament time, and Georgia come out really, they don't, you can't even tell that it's a different court for them, the way that they're playing. We are used to seeing them play like this, especially at home, but the defense that they're playing with is what has been the thing that has kept them going. But Jenna Stady, how she is playing, the energy, the emotion, that's what it's all about.
That looked like it was going to be a foul on Kentucky, but the foul is called on Gabby Connolly. So Connolly picks up her first personal. Howard gets to the basket for her first 2. Look at Kentucky running. Treasure Hunt, the freshman, hustling back. Hunt has really come on as of late. Was good yesterday against Florida. 9 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. In her 24 minutes, her head coach Kyra Elzy says she's just playing with confidence, making big plays for Kentucky right now.
Well, I think too, and you look at a game like now, trying to find a player that can come in and just give them some energy. So you look at Treasure Hunt, especially after what she did last night in yesterday's game, that you're hoping that she can come out and bring that same energy.
Howard starts to heat up, knocking down the 3.
Well, we were wondering when Ryan Howard was
shaking
going to start coming out. And
that was the shake of a head like, all right, that's enough. Enough fooling around. Let's start to play.
even though we said like she didn't really start going until the fourth quarter, she did some steady things throughout the game, but it was just fourth quarter when she finally woke up yesterday and started making some big plays.
Stady was fouled. She'll go to the line.
But Ryan Howard today, she's finally kind of pointed at her wrist. I think she said Ryan time. We're going to look at it a little bit earlier today, Eric.
Well, they need it. They were down 15-2. She's scored the last 5 points for Kentucky. But now Stady back to the free throw line. This is an outstanding free throw shooting team, Georgia. At 74%. Their top four scorers, that core four, they're a combined 84% from the free throw line.
And you look at a lot of teams, taking pride in free throws. I'm a big proponent of free throws. That you get free shots from the free throw line. Practice them so that when you get to a game, and we've seen some games that have come down to missed free throws.
Mallory Bates comes into the game for Stady. Now they're getting into the hands of Howard right now. Isaacs with the rebound for Georgia. Kentucky is not a good rebounding team, and already an early advantage for Georgia. They're a +5 in rebounding margin here in this first quarter. Connolly runs into Howard. Doesn't lose it, though, as Isaacs is there to pick it up. Now Morrison for three.
And one of the things that Georgia does, I mean, they attack the basket, right? You see multiple players down low, especially on the offensive end, and defensively they box people out. Kentucky does not. Treasure Hunt stepped in and knocked down the three.
Outstanding offensive player, the freshman from Chattanooga, who was 1 for 4 from outside the three-point line on Thursday, knocks down the three early here. And Wyatt fights for the rebound and gives it off to Howard with half a minute to go here in the first quarter. And a turnover. That's the 4th for Kentucky.
Well, Massengill just overthrows it a little bit too far for Tatiana Wyatt, but that would have been a great look and a wide open layup.
Isaacs will check out. Sarah Ashley Barker is into the game. Into the hands of Connolly. Facing some Kentucky pressure with Morrison helping her in the backcourt.
Well, you'll see a lot of different defenses from this Kentucky team, from the zone to the man.
Down to 5. Connolly to Bates. Has to get something up here, but Ryan Howard ties her up. 0.2 of a second to go. Possession arrow will give it to Georgia. A good play by Howard defensively. That will do it for the first quarter. Georgia had a 13-point lead in that first quarter before Ryan Howard got going to bring it to a 7-point game. We'll have more on the...
One of the success moments for this Kentucky team is they have to have other players score. So while Ryan Howard can do her thing, other players around her have to score as well.
I'd like to see Kentucky get a little bit more aggressive defensively as Ryan Howard cuts backdoor to get her team some offensive firepower. But Georgia, in their losses, they struggled with turnovers. They have just one right now. So an area where Kentucky can really anchor in and kind of turn up the heat defensively, get some easy points in transition.
Howard with 7. Michaela Coombs into the game. Sarah Ashley Barker, the freshman who has played with confidence since her first minutes on the floor in Athens, comes through with her first tournament points.
Well, I tell you what, you wouldn't know she's a freshman just by the way that she plays, but we keep noting that she is a freshman, but Barker comes out, and when she comes in, offensively, she's production, but defensively, she's solid there too.
Turnover number 5 for Kentucky as you take a look at the freshman from Birmingham, Alabama.
And let's take a look at that backdoor cut. Went a little bit too fast. The defense couldn't get over, couldn't get that double team.
Howard now 3 of 5 from the field. Rest of the team 2 of 11 from the floor. Caldwell ducks inside. No, not done yet. Yes.
And one of the things Steffi just said is she would like to see Kentucky get a little bit more aggressive on the defensive end, and Georgia is literally having their way. They had the wide open look, the possession before, and Barker, and then just getting it done on the boards.
Wyatt for Howard. Barker chases after it, and they say it was last touched by Georgia. And it'll be Kentucky basketball with 10 to shoot for the Wildcats.
Another heads-up play, just the defense. This is where you see Coach Taylor and her team. Defense, defense, defense.
Remember yesterday against Florida, Florida had the lead in the fourth quarter before the Wildcats went on the run, led by Howard. Kentucky shot 79% in the fourth quarter. Ended up outscoring the Gators in the fourth to pick up the victory.
Well, they stepped on the gas in that fourth quarter. Really about that 4-minute mark where Kentucky kind of like, all right, we're gonna win this game. So they came out, they stepped on the gas, the defensive intensity went up, and that was something we talked about just earlier. Kentucky coming out with more of an assertiveness to start the game, especially against this Bulldog team.
Morrison. Defended by Patterson. Coombs tries to go over the top to Caldwell. The little double pump, and Maya Caldwell is just in a zone right now.
Well, Caldwell,
inside, outside, getting it done. And a foul's going to be called on Coombs.
and Caldwell doing just a great job of posting up. She had Chastity Patterson on her. So she sees the mismatch. She's trying to get the ball over the top, calling for it.
Up.
Oh, throw it to me. And you got the wide open backside, so it's even a perfect pass.
Caldwell's now 4 of 5 from the floor. Has a couple of rebounds to go along with their 10 points. Stady back into the game. Treasure Hunt takes it at her, which doesn't work out. She's averaging 3 blocks a game. And Morrison, what's the call? Offensive foul called on Q Morrison.
And Ryan Howard down for the count in the moment, but
And it wasn't like Q Morrison let up when she got close to the basket. So Ryan took the full brunt of that contact. And she'll check out of the game. Robin Benton will come in.
And a great job by Ryan Howard getting in front, especially knowing that she can't afford to get another foul, but she
To go down. That's what happened to Howard. So she checks out. Morrison checks out as well. First personal on Q. Benton.
and Barker with the block.
No reset of the shot clock. It's down to 6. Wide open look for Treasure Hunt.
Treasure Hunt has really been a bright spot for this team. Yesterday she came in and gave some quality minutes. Today already coming in, knocking down some shots. This is what Kentucky is going to have other players step up, but that's one of the things that they have said. They've had a balanced team. And when you're going against Georgia, Gabby Connolly for 3, you're going to have a lot of firepower against this team.
Gabby Connolly gets her first points. She's been very good over the last 4 games. Back to a 12-point lead for Georgia. McKinney back for Patterson. Patterson knocked away by Caldwell. Caldwell playing so well offensively and now contributing defensively.
Well, they know what this game means, and every single game and every single possession, it matters. And you can tell Q Morrison set the tone early on. Maya Caldwell jumping on the ball. Sarah Barker comes in. Jenna Stady down low. What she's been able to contribute thus far, every player has come in and has made a difference.
Q Morrison back into the game as Barker sits down. Six turnovers for Kentucky. They average a little bit more than 12 a game. They're second best in the conference in turnover margin. That goes back to what Steffi talked about before, about Kentucky maybe getting a little bit more aggressive defensively. They can turn teams over. This is more of an unforced turnover here. I thought Michaela Coombs just lost the handle. Officials are, for the moment, giving the ball to Georgia.
And you see the fans up. Coombs comes around.
Well,
and
Kiki McKinney got a hand in there.
I don't know if she got her hand on the ball, though.
Okay. And Treasure Hunt's got a little too close to Gabby Connolly.
That's a bad foul right there. Gabby Connolly that far away from the basket. 7 seconds on the shot clock. You got to let that play out. And one of the main reasons you got to let it play out, Treasure Hunt goes to the bench with 2 fouls. Now Dre Edwards comes in.
So Hunt, the first one with more than 1 foul for either team. Caldwell, well, no doubt about it right now. Maya Caldwell, 12 first half points to lead all scorers.
She's in a zone.
Came in averaging just under 8 points a game. Howard muscles it up against Morrison.
there's different points in the game where different players step up, and that's one thing that Coach Taylor has said. She said, you know what, any given night, any of our players, especially when you look at the starters, and I mean, she has a nice little rotation of people that come in the game, but it's been one of those things when you watch their team play, you never know whose night it's going to be. And Caldwell,
she saw she had Ryan Howard on her. She's like, well, let's just see how far I can take this right now.
let me see what I can do.
There's Coombs coming in. Stady comes in. She's been a difference maker on defense so far, as she normally is.
And she's been smart. There's been a few games where she's fouled out, and that's what, you know, Coach Taylor said, look, that's not what we need. We need you on the floor. And Jenna Stady, she, for the most part, has really improved on staying on the floor.
Approaching 4 minutes to go, second quarter. Quarterfinal number 2. Georgia on top by 12. The winner of this game will take on Texas A&M tomorrow in the semifinal round. The Aggies with a win over LSU earlier today. Ryan Howard. Morrison trying to get around the Edwards screen. Howard with the kick. 2, 1 to shoot. Off just in time, but it won't drop for Ben. Caldwell to Coombs. For Morrison. Morrison was fouled, and she'll step to the free throw line when we come back to Greenville.
Doing work. Gabby Connolly knocked down a 3 not too long ago, and of course Q Morrison off the steal from Ryan Howard early.
The other point scored by the freshman Sarah Ashley Barker with the 3 as Morrison steps to the free throw line.
That's a rare miss.
Foul before the break was on Benton, her first personal. Morrison 1 of 2, 88% from the free throw line.
And you will see Ryan Howard play pretty much every position. She will bring the ball up at the 1. She might be at the 5, posting up down low, and anything in between.
Now Morrison keeping up with Howard. McKinney tried to slow her down, but got called for the illegal screen. A foul on Kentucky.
You know, one of the big things is you have to make sure that your player is set before you actually go and run into the screen. And Ryan Howard went just a little bit too quick, and McKinney called for that foul.
7th turnover for the Wildcats. Into Stady. McKinney tries to get physical with her. Back out to Caldwell. Stady. Rebounded by McKinney.
Georgia couldn't get a good offensive flow right there. Kept putting the ball down for one dribble.
McKinney, good three-point shooter, not this time. And a rebound for Stady, but a little lackadaisical with the pass, and Kentucky with the turnover.
Kentucky not able to convert.
And Benton gets called for her second personal.
Well, Kentucky trying to figure out a way to increase the energy level, get the defensive intensity to rise up. So they are getting more aggressive, but on the offensive end, they're struggling with some of the shots that they have.
So Benton will come out with the 2 personals as Chastity Patterson comes back into the game. '59th meeting all time between Kentucky and Georgia. Kentucky with 37 wins in the series. They've won the last 3, but it's all Georgia at the moment. Michaela Coombs off the bench.
Georgia just keeps attacking Kentucky down low. Kentucky not able to get back on the transition defense. They set up their press, but there's nobody on the backside. So anytime the ball goes over, there's nobody protecting the basket down low.
Howard shakes off a couple of defenders, gets into double figures now with 11. Morrison will work a little clock here for Georgia. Coombs looks for Stady. Stady inside. McKinney came back and lost it out of bounds, but got the first block. Good defensive play by Kiki McKinney.
Well, McKinney lucky that she didn't get called for a foul. Jenna Steady working down low, but let's look at these last couple buckets by Georgia, just continuing to put the ball on the floor and attack, but Ryan Howard has not today, and she comes back and able to get that ball in.
Over Stady and Morrison. So they're adjusting the shot clock right now. They bring it down to 19. And Morrison will put it back into play.
And one of the keys is to get the ball down low to Jenna Stady.
Morrison uses a Stady screen and gets the roll.
Gotta be for a 2 and not a 3.
Massengill. Massengill batted away by Stady. Three-pointer, a little too strong for Blair Green. And a foul called on McKinney as Caldwell went down.
Oh, Kiki McKinney, now that's her second foul. Pull down, and Georgia is in the bonus, so they will get back to the free throw line.
So that's the second personal foul on McKinney, who was having a pretty heated discussion that
but she didn't win it.
Eventually, well, I think she was being encouraged to walk away from that discussion before it escalated a little bit too far.
Well, she got a little frustrated, and
she said, "I'm going for the ball," and Caldwell goes down.
Oh yeah, she got the hook. Can't do the hook. McKinney over on the sideline, frustrated, but I think this is the point right now. Kentucky, Georgia just came out today. They've been the aggressor. Kentucky just kind of sat back, but this is what we saw yesterday when they came out against Florida. They kind of sat back and let the game come to them. But when you look at this Georgia Bulldog team, you got to be the aggressor. You got to attack them.
Ryan Howard gets fouled, and this will be the first trip to the free throw line for a Kentucky player today.
And that'll be Jenna Stady's second foul.
Stady, the first one with more than one, and I'm going to assume Joni Taylor will get out of the game, but maybe not. Well, since they're on offense, they'll leave her out there. And she'll just have to be careful in this final minute on defense. Here's Coombs in the front court.
A dangerous position to be in with 2 fouls on the floor, especially sometimes you end up being in the wrong place at the wrong time and you get those fouls called.
On the turnaround, no. Edwards with it. Howard looking to clear things out, perhaps. Gets a screen from Edwards. The pull-up, no. Q Morrison with the rebound. A chance here to push it quickly across half court. Morrison on the run. Didn't miss by much. Georgia outstanding first half against Kentucky. The senior class with the score 20 first half points. That is such a low number for a team that has depth, has different players who've been able to score. It's not just Ryan Howard. So when you look at Kentucky, what do they need to do here, Tamika, right from the very start of the third quarter to find that offense?
Well, I think just right there, Jasmine Massengill trying to take it in. They got to get aggressive. They got to attack on the offensive end, force Kentucky to have to play better defense, which, while we know Georgia is a great defensive team, Kentucky can be the aggressor on offense.
And they get a stop on the other end with Howard. Massengill scored the first points of the quarter. Adds to it.
Well, this is a much different team than we saw to start the game. Kentucky has come out. You can tell the sense of urgency is there. They dug themselves in a hole by 15 at half, and now they got to dig themselves out and try to take the lead.
Stady on the turnaround, and Chastity Patterson gets called for the foul. Well, someone other than Howard from the starting five scoring here to get things going in the second half. That's Massengill. Kentucky getting 12 from Howard of the 24 so far. Steffi?
Well, we've seen the trend so far here in Greenville that it takes balance and it takes team basketball to advance in this SEC tournament right now. Kentucky, it's just Ryan Howard. Earlier we saw Kaylor Pointer trying to lead LSU. Kiki Smith with Florida. Obviously, those teams didn't go on to win, but clearly the message from Kyra Elzy, Tamika, and you can speak to this, was to up their defensive pressure. The first time, or the last time that they played, they got Jenna Stady in foul trouble. That was a big difference. But right now, they can't hang their head when their shots aren't falling because it affects their defensive intensity. But Kyra Elzy obviously wants them to play better defense so they can start making shots.
Well, I think the biggest thing is just be aggressive. Have a sense of urgency. When you come out here, you are not guaranteed to win this game just by stepping on the floor. And Chastity Patterson able to knock down that three. You can see that Kentucky has come to life. Why did they not come into the game with this intensity? That's one thing that they have to discuss, but it is good to see.
Well, that intensity obviously starting with their head coach, Kyra Elzy, who was not too thrilled in the first half when we saw her, but now she's trying to provide a little extra juice to her team. Wild pass up front, and Patterson gets called for the foul, knocking down Caldwell.
Well, she knocked down Maya Caldwell, and well, she might think it's not a foul that anytime you come in contact with somebody that's receiving the ball.
Well, had she received the ball?
Before she received the ball.
So you're telling me Chastity's got a little bit of an argument?
You see Jenna Stady down low trying to work.
Caldwell, no. McKinney the rebound. Howard steps back. Can't get the three. Wyatt's got the putback. All Kentucky right now.
Well, when you got Jenna Stady away from the basket, it opens up being able to get the offensive rebounds, and Tatiana Wyatt does her job early.
Now, part of the message had to have been to the rest of the starters outside of Ryan Howard. Contribute something here. And after not scoring in the first half, those four other starters getting involved right now. Here's Morrison. Morrison settles things down for Georgia for the moment.
Well, Morrison is definitely for Georgia. She's that energy player. So trying to find and give this Georgia Bulldog team a little bit of energy.
Wyatt on the turnaround. Deflected by Patterson. Off the hands of Caldwell. Battle for the loose ball, and a jump ball possession arrow will give it to Georgia.
Yeah, a lot of bodies flying. We've seen that all afternoon long, but you see right here, Tatiana Wyatt down low, getting boxed out by Q Morrison, and able to get that rebound. Can only imagine what halftime was like in the Kentucky locker room. 20 points was the lowest that they've scored, I believe, all season long. So the challenge was there. You need to get on the floor. And if you guys want to play, she probably gave them the option. Do you want to finish playing the game, or do you want to go home? Because if you keep playing the way you did, we're going to be going home.
Well, Isaacs had a pretty spin move to get a shot off, but then she gets called for the foul after that shot came up short. Well, I would say two things from what we would assume, and you know Kyra better than most, would be a fiery and impassioned halftime speech. One, it's a speech that these Kentucky players won't forget, and two, they're responding to it right now. That 9-1 start here in the quarter.
Well, I tell you what, I remember I remember a game when we did not play our best at half. I think it was actually against University of Illinois, Tennessee. And Pat said she didn't say anything in the locker room. She came in, she looked at us, and she walked out. Message delivered.
Sometimes silence can hurt the most.
Kentucky able to get the ball back.
Kyra, part of 2 national championship teams at Tennessee. Tamika's teammate for one of those titles. Morrison. Kick it over to Caldwell. Open 3. Yes. Maya Caldwell. 16 points, following up her 27, a career high against Florida in the regular season finale.
Well, Caldwell just looks so good. She looks so confident. She is in the flow. She's in the rhythm. When she stepped in for those shots, you can tell it's going in.
Gets called for the foul here.
Oh, here it is. And Patterson takes the ball. She tried to throw it underneath the basket with Jenna Stady right there to get the steal. And a nice little kick out. Caldwell knocked down.
First personal on Caldwell. Massengill, Wyatt. No, Howard bodies off Morrison. Fights again. Connolly took the contact from Howard, and the foul is called on Ryan Howard.
Yeah, and Ryan Howard takes the ball. She hooks it up with Q Morrison, so she kind of went in her face. But she's a little frustrated just about the foul. She thought she got fouled there.
Second personal on Howard. Connolly being guarded by one of the best on-ball defenders in the SEC, Chastity Patterson. Morrison. No. Stady saves it for Georgia. Good hustle play by Jenna Stady.
Hustle play by the big girl down low. And I don't know about you, but when I see my post players go down and do that.
It's a hustle play by Stady, the score by Stady, and that puts her over 1,000 points for her Georgia career.
Jenna Stady, everybody, and we're over here and giving a round of applause. The hustle, the basket, over 1,000 point. Jenna Stady going to work down low. Can't get it one way, you're gonna get it the other way. Here you see it, boom. Turn around, Jay, it's in. We'll see you when we come back.
Georgia, she joins the 1,000 point club at the University of Georgia. She's got 12 here today, and she's been contributing with the scoring, with the defense, with the rebounding, doing what Jenna Stady does.
Well, and it's the block, the defense, the hustle play that we just saw her do, but running the floor straight down the lane, Jenna Stady has contributed down low. She's even stepped out and knocked down a couple shots, so it's good to see 1,000 points in the book.
Well, coming into this tournament, Jenna Stady said, this is it for me. This is my last opportunity to make a run with this senior class. And she talked about going through last year. They weren't satisfied with the season that they had, and obviously it was cut short with COVID coming in. And she just had a new perspective on this season. She said, we're very grateful to play because it could always be our last game. They didn't know. No one really knew what this season would look like. So grateful to be out there making an impact. And you remember, Eric, when we were talking to her about how does she feel out there? She's 22. Sometimes she feels 50.
Yes.
She's not playing like it right now.
No, she's playing like a teenager right now. But there are times for some of these seniors where they've been through so much with injuries and all the games and minutes they've played that, yeah, they feel a little beyond their age sometimes. Well, this goes back to last year for Jenna. Remember last year she came on late in the season, played really well, averaged 20 points, 9 rebounds over the last 9 games. Was good in this tournament last year in that opening win against Alabama. She had 20 points, 14 rebounds, 7 blocks before losing to South Carolina in the quarterfinals. But to Steffi's point, this is their chance to get to the semifinals and perhaps beyond. Connolly is fouled. That will get us to our media timeout. Well, you know.
Oh, definitely the red pumps. I like the black pants. I mean, us ladies with long legs, it's hard to find pants that are long enough. So I just like the whole look. I've already claimed one of her dresses. I can't remember which game, but I sent her a note. I'm like, yep, I'll take that one. Steffi, you said she's not duplicating outfits. I will take any of them, and I will make sure that if I need to pass it on to the next person, I'll do that as well.
Now this is where my fashion sense hits the wall, because I just say, well, she's wearing red shoes. You know, you take it to the next level. So.
Oh, it's how it all pulls together, Eric. I mean, come on.
I'm all about comfort at this stage in my fashion career, obviously. Stady has it batted away. Ryan Howard staying out there with that third personal foul with 4.5 to go here in the third. And Howard gambles to pick the pocket of Q Morrison. Runs it into Morrison, and Q hanging in there defensively, and Patterson cleans it up. Kyra Elzy pushing the limits for a technical right here, thinking that Howard should have been at the free throw line.
And I think in that possession, Ryan Howard tried to go get the foul and not able to get it. But then you see the frustration from everyone. And now Treasure Hunt just gets called for her third personal foul. And look at Kyra Elby. You can see the frustration. I think she said that's a foul.
Something like that, Tamika.
Yeah, there's not a face mask tight enough to hold back the anger of that yelling right there.
You don't want to make Kelsey mad. You do not want to make Coach Kelsey mad. We used to laugh and joke around. There's a difference between Kyra and there's a difference between Kelsey.
Oh, so who's the...
Kelsey's kind of like the what you just saw. That's Kelsey. But that's what I want on the court with me. I want Kelsey on the court with me like that.
That's the Ms. Hyde?
Yeah, look at it. Look at
Dr. Jekyll wants
Still going. Kyra's too nice for the court.
Well, guys, we talked about Joni Taylor's fashion. We have to give some props to Kyra Elzy, too. I mean, she looks fantastic on the sideline as well.
Howard off the miss, Stady with the rebound. Yeah, I thought that's where you're going with. This was the fashion showdown. This is the bracket. I'd like to see Charlie Cream's bracketology on that. Connolly on the run.
A nice look right there by Connolly. We actually talked about that yesterday. Like, ooh, the matchup of the two teams. But let's look at the matchup for the coaches. Let's look at the outfits. Not even who had the best outfit. And Ryan Howard takes it to the hoop strong. He's determined to get this foul
She'll
called.
get to the free throw line to shoot a couple. The question would be, what kind of good Christmas sweater does Kyra Elzy have? Then we can go from there.
She had one on.
Yeah, that's the Christmas sweater, or that's not even a sweater. Are those llamas?
One of those Target sweaters. I love it. It's my favorite store.
Howard at the free throw line in a 14-point game. $15 now for Howard.
And Kentucky came out with a lot of energy in this third quarter. They put themselves in a hole down by 15 at half.
Robin Benton unsure if she was going into the game or going to stay on the sideline. Patterson will go to the bench. Caldwell with the handle. Talk about a player who's just brimming with confidence right now. They break through, get it to Stady. Easy two for Georgia.
Well, Stady was just timing it right for the post up to get the pass right on time. It's an easy basket for her when all she has to do is turn around and shoot. And Ryan Howard answered back.
Yeah, yesterday, Tamika, you pointed out that as Q Morrison takes the contact from Treasure Hunt and wants to get the number of that truck that just hit her into the
And
table.
Treasure Hunt, that's her fourth foul. You got to be able to control your body. She tried to go for that steal, but ends up taking out Q Morrison.
In normal times, that would take out a cameraman, but in these COVID times, we have robotic cameras down on the court to try to capture everything. Our crew doing a fantastic job here on the day side. Producer Bill Palladino, director Anthony DeMarco, who working with, I'm glad to see our camera people around the building, but we're just not allowed down on the court for player safety, our crew safety, and I think doing a terrific job there. You see one of the robotic cameras doing a terrific job to bring you the pictures the best we can with the restrictions that we've put on and the league for safety has been enforcing as well, and rightly so, as we all know. We're just trying to get to this finish line and hope that next year is more like we were last year here, with a full crowd, a loud crowd, and great energy.
Oh, I love how you give the shout out, just the people that it takes to run this. And I think as a player, you never realize all of the people that come into play to make things like this happen.
Well, you heard from Tiffany Daniels at halftime how you try to figure out in this new era, this COVID era, how to make things work and how to make it a fulfilling and normal as possible experience for the players and the fans. And I think they've done a terrific job here in Greenville.
I would agree with you, Eric, and just the protocols that are in place to make sure that everybody, the health and safety of our players is always number one. And you can feel it walking around with all the different things. You see players and the fans mask up, and I think from a player standpoint, you're just happy to have a building or to be in a building and to play in front of actual physical people. The cardboards are nice, don't get me wrong. I like cardboard, but the people...
Yeah, those crowds are a little flat, so... You got a little,
Stanley over here.
You got a little energy in the building. So Stady having a solid game. She's got 16 and 10 now. Caldwell was 16 for Georgia. And Georgia, after getting outscored in the opening 2 minutes of this quarter, 9-1, they've answered back. Patterson steps back and hits a three for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that gets her to 10 points for the night, and definitely need to see more of that. Almost comes away with the steal.
Some of that quickness right there. Chastity didn't score in the first half, as we mentioned. The only starter who scored in the first half was Ryan Howard.
Well, not only a score, but a score over Jenna Stady, who leads the SEC in block shots, so pulling her out of the paint and forcing her to guard her on the perimeter.
Even then, you have to step back a little bit when you're going over a 6'4" Jenna Stady.
She said step back three, no problem, Eric.
Connolly gets an assist to the basket for two. These seniors and this Georgia team just work so well together. As Patterson can't get the basket, she'll go to the free throw line. When you've played together with so long with the same players, you know how to read the screens. You know where your teammate's going to be. You have trust that they're going to be where you need them to be.
Well, definitely, and you can feel the trust. We can feel the trust, but Gabby Connolly takes it to the basket. The seniors, they play so well with each other and off each other. But, you know, I think it really starts Jenna Stady down low. She kind of sets the tone. One thing that Joni Taylor has said is we want to play inside, outside. And so getting established down low, being able to get the ball down low, and then passing it out or driving to the paint. So you look at points in the paint tonight, 24 points in the paint for Georgia to Kentucky 18.
Sarah Ashley Barker caught inside. Couldn't get it to drop, and Wyatt's got it. 14-point lead for Georgia. They were up 15 at halftime. Their largest lead in this game, 16. Ryan Howard for three.
Ryan Howard gives it a little way, like you can't guard me.
Well, Howard's got to be careful when she's playing the defense because she's got 3 personal fouls, and McKinney gets called for the foul.
And that'll be McKinney's 3rd personal foul as well. So you got Benton with 2 fouls. You got McKinney with 3 now, Howard with 3, and Hunt on the bench with 4.
Ryan Howard now with 20 points. There you see Treasure Hunt. And Gabby Connolly will go to the free throw line. So final minute of play. Both teams in the bonus in this quarter. Connolly, 87% free throw shooter. Three for 3. Make it 4 for 4 from the line.
Just a solid performance tonight thus far from this senior class. It's been interesting because Kentucky, they came out, they went on a run, and they continue to keep the foot on the pedal, right? But Georgia just keeps coming back, and they keep scoring, and it's the seniors that have stepped up.
So the foul on the freshman, Sarah Ashley Barker, will send Robin Benton to the free throw line. 38 seconds to go in the quarter. Jordan Isaacs is back in as Barker checks out. And here is Robin Benton stepping into her stride. She's been a good addition to this Kentucky team this year after spending her first 2 years at Auburn. Good spark off the bench, especially in the first half of the season.
Coach Elvia definitely talked about her and just like her IQ, her basketball IQ on the floor, being able to play defense the way that she wants to play defense, that she wants this Wildcat team to be, and being in the right position on the offensive end. So I think with Benton, you're right, she has been a strong addition to this Wildcat team.
Stady tries to feed it to Isaacs. Loose ball. Battle for it. Isaacs and Howard and Wyatt, and it's Benton who comes away. This could be a big trip here for Kentucky. They can get it down to single digits heading into the fourth quarter. Connolly got hit hard at the contact. Benton's in trouble. And I think a timeout was called by Kyra Elsie with 1.6 to go. Generally, you wouldn't take something that late, but Elsie wants to see if she can get something organized for one quick final shot here as Gabby Connolly slow to get up. Now, do not dismiss Kentucky. They have had some strong fourth quarters this season. They've had runs at the end of games to get back into games, and they have Ryan Howard. And this is a Kentucky team that maybe they've played catch-up all game long, but when you get to the fourth quarter, Ryan Howard's on the floor, and your Kentucky teammates know what to do. This game is far from over.
It's Ryan time. Fourth quarter definitely is when Ryan starts showing up. But I feel like this third quarter she came out and she's had a strong performance. But as a team, the Wildcat team has come out in the third quarter. They've had more of a sense of urgency. And you're right, Eric. They have been in situations where they've been behind before. When you have Ryan Howard on the floor, you see right there 20.1 points per game. There have been games she scored 20 points in the fourth quarter, between the fourth quarter and overtime. So you can never count out this Wildcat team.
See if they're able to get a decent look here with 1.6 to go. It is in the hands of Howard, but a tough pass. She'll just heave it up with the left hand, and that will do it. Kiki Herbert Harrigan, the tournament MVP. 76-62 win over Mississippi State. Ole Miss. Terrific performance by Ole Miss down the stretch. Their last two games they won at Kentucky. They defeated Arkansas here at the SEC tournament. So two ranked opponents go down at the hands of Shakira Austin and the Rebels. They're in the quarterfinal round for the first time since 2010. Don't forget about Alabama. We talk about seniors and players who can contribute. Mariah Copeland had 22 and 10 in their win yesterday over Mizzou. That will be the challenge for South Carolina against Jasmine Walker, Jordan Lewis, Copeland, and the Tide.
Well, needless to say, as Jasmine Massengill goes in, Kentucky continuing the fire and the fight that they had from the third quarter. But it's been a lot of fun watching all the teams in the SEC this year, especially as you look at tournament time. We know that every single night you go out, you got to win to continue to play. And so you see the fight, the heart, what's going on out here.
What's going on out here at this moment is a tie-up, and it'll be Georgia ball.
Jenna Stady literally had three people. 1, 2, and Ryan Howard's coming. That's the takedown.
Stady tries to return it to Morrison. Gabby Connolly for three. Michaela Coombs gets on the glass and a second chance here for Georgia.
And Coombs comes out of nowhere to get that rebound.
Kentucky had done a much better job on the glass in the third quarter, but Coombs with a key putback, or a second chance opportunity, I should say, and Stady will head to the free throw line.
Well, Stady continued to do her work down low, and she does it early, but if you watch her the whole possession, she's posting, she's moving, turns around, Tatiana Wyatt trying to guard her, and gets called for that foul.
Stady with a double-double for the 9th time this year and the 16th time in her career. She had a career high last time out against Florida with 30. Georgia scored 95 in that game. We talked about Caldwell getting a career high. Michaela Coombs also had a career high in that game. Back to an 11-point lead.
And that just goes to show you the balance that Georgia has in being able to have multiple people get career highs and have that opportunity to come out with the win.
Q Morrison knocking it away from Ryan Howard. It will remain Kentucky basketball. We know how competitive Q Morrison is. She does not want to hear us saying Ryan time over and over again here in the fourth quarter if she could do anything about it on the defensive end.
And Jenna Stady with another block.
Morrison got into trouble and stepped out of bounds with Howard and McKinney teaming up defensively.
And Jenna Stady over there shaking her hand. Don't know. She'll shake it until she gets back to the offensive end, and then when she posts up,
it'll feel fine by then, right?
It'll be all right.
Howard turnaround fadeaway. No. Wyatt spins inside of Stady for two. Connolly across half court. Lobbed up for Stady. There's Wyatt there defensively. Stady, though, rips it away from Ryan Howard. And a foul is called on Kentucky.
Well, it looked like a jump ball for a minute, and it looked like there was a lot of people that had hands on the ball. And Jenna Stady right there. Tatiana Wyatt with the block. Ryan Howard. Jenna, did you look at the jump ball?
I didn't see the foul.
No.
Kyra Elsie didn't see the foul. It was called on Wyatt, her second. Tatiana Wyatt definitely didn't see the foul or feel the foul by that reaction. Well, we got a good look there. Jenna Stady, that's the hand she's been shaking. A little scuffed up, perhaps. Still with the soft touch, though.
Sometimes you just need a couple of minutes just to let the pain go away, and then you just get right back into it. But she shows that rhythm.
Well, big difference in this game, Tamika. You talked about aggressiveness. This may be a reflection of it. Georgia is now 20 of 25 from the free throw line. Kentucky has been to the line 8 times tonight.
Georgia just continues to attack the basket. They get in the paint. They force you to have to make a decision, and they're knocking down some shots, but they're getting to the free throw line if not.
Patterson, high arcing shot, rebound by Bates, who came into the game for Stady.
Now, one thing you've seen with Georgia too, they are executing their offenses. They want to get the ball down low, the execution that they've had, and then they're getting some really good looks.
Caldwell can't hit this time, and it's a rebound to Patterson. Where is Ryan Howard? Massengill for McKinney. Knocked away by Gabby Connolly, but into the hands of Massengill. Inside of 7 to go in the fourth quarter. 11-point Georgia lead. Now Coombs is guarding Howard.
Well, you look at just how Coombs is guarding Howard. She is not helping off of Howard by any means necessary. So Kentucky is being forced to have to make plays without Ryan.
Shot clock down to 1. It's a shot clock violation, and Ryan Howard was not involved in the offense that trip for Kyra Elsie.
And Ryan Howard gets in the middle of that huddle. You could tell she's fired up. I don't know what she said to her teammate, but take the ball to the basket.
Morrison, risky pass, but into the hands of Coombs. Deflected by Wyatt. Now Georgia will set up with 6.5 to go in the fourth. It was a very slow start for Kentucky. They were 1 for 11 from the field to start the game. Fell behind early, and they've been playing catch-up ever since. Wyatt couldn't save it. 7 to shoot for Georgia.
Well, you know what happened? Georgia just came out, and they came out aggressive. We've seen most teams that have come out, especially when it's their first time playing on this floor, they come out there trying to get the flow and get in the flow of the game. But Georgia came in, they were in a flow before they even hit the court. And you saw it in the way that they played, the aggressiveness that they played with. Kentucky kind of sat back the first half.
Michaela Coombs got a hand in there again. She is very active, especially on the offensive glass. Excellent defensive player. And a second chance here for Georgia. Caldwell has got the size advantage over Patterson and makes a beautiful move to get 2 more.
Nice little up and under right there by Maya Caldwell going to the right. Chastity Patterson trying to jump up to get the block.
Wyatt rolls to the basket for 2. Morrison trying to push it before Kentucky can get things set up defensively, and now Connolly will walk it across. Caldwell. And now Georgia doing it with Stady on the bench for the moment. Coombs, little teardrop won't go. Patterson's got the rebound, but couldn't use the dribble to get free and turned it over.
Patterson trying to dribble in a crowd. That is the worst thing you can do, especially when you know the defense is coming behind you.
Morrison for 3. 11 points for Q Morrison. Jenna Stady says, let's go, and Georgia pushes it to 14 points. Howard rattles home 2 more. 22 for Ryan Howard.
And Ryan Howard literally can score whenever she wants to. But
on the big stage of the SEC tournament, and it's going to take something special here for Howard and Kentucky to come back here late in the 4th quarter, down by 14, to a Georgia team that's been very good defensively throughout.
I think, Eric, a lot of it is just they got to get some quick scores. You got to get some quick scores, take care of the ball, what Drea said, take care of the ball, get some quick scores, and be aggressive. Defensively, the same thing, but when you're going against a Georgia team that has the weapons that they have, Jenna Stady is not even out on the floor right now. Mallory Bates is.
McKinney follows her own miss, can't get it. Treasure Hunt back into the game with the 4 fouls and a rebound for Georgia. Well, you can see Michaela Coombs is the one who is using the fresh legs to try to keep up with Ryan Howard, and no one has the legs to keep up with Mallory Bates, who runs the floor.
Kentucky defense, nobody is even paying attention to the back line. Protect the basket. Mallory Bates runs from one end all the way to the other end with no defensive player following him.
Caldwell just got the assist, has the switch on defense on Howard, and gets called for the foul. That's her 3rd personal. You know, Maya's like, well, I've got 18 points. I'm 7 of 11 from the field. I've made a couple of threes, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Maybe I can get a stop on Ryan Howard just to make it a complete day.
Yeah.
Howard continues to add to her total. Caldwell has been outstanding for Georgia.
Though Caldwell just started smiling.
Through the legs of Caldwell, turnover by Q Morrison, and it'll be Kentucky basketball.
Well, we're talking about just fast break. Kentucky needing to have defensive stop. Mallory Bates a couple possessions ago, straight down the line. Maya Caldwell, that's the smile you're talking about, Eric.
So Howard makes a couple of free throws, and Georgia turns it over. Morrison knocked it away.
Georgia continues to play with that aggressiveness. This is something we have seen. They have played this way the whole game. They did not wait. Right off the bat, they knew that if they wanted to win this game or have the opportunity to win against the Kentucky team, whoever is the aggressor would come out.
Howard comes up short. Coombs with the rebound. Georgia can bring it inside of 3 minutes this trip. Coombs isn't going to wait around. Now they can with a second chance. Connolly, a little fake, staying aggressive on offense for 2.
So Georgia sticks with the plan. They're not going to wait out the clock. They want to continue to use clock and continue to stay in the flow of their offense.
That pushes it back to 16. Howard gets the roll one more time. Ryan Howard, back-to-back 20-plus performances in this SEC tournament. She's got 26 today after 27 yesterday.
And outside of Ryan Howard, you got Chastity Patterson with 11 points, but then the next person is they have multiple players that have had 6 points. And when you look at the Georgia side, Connolly with 13, Caldwell with 18, Morrison with 11, Stady, who's on the bench right now, with 20 points. It's hard to match up when you have that kind of firepower on your team.
Oh, Patterson picks up her 3rd personal foul, and Q Morrison at the free throw line. These will be attempts 26 and 27 for Georgia today. No matter what happens here today, Kentucky will be one of the higher seeded teams in the NCAA tournament. Charlie Cream will have a new projection later today to see if Kentucky can't come back in this game. Would that drop them down to a 5 seed, or again, there's still a lot of basketball to be played across the country to determine the seeding, but they'll be right on that fence. There's Howard for 3 more, brings it back down to 12. Actually, that was a deep 2 for Howard, so 74-62, inside of 2 to go. Mallory Bates, perhaps a quick shot there for Georgia. Howard, defended by Connolly, gets free. 2 more.
It is definitely Ryan time, and that play right there, just being able to create the space that she creates to get her shots off.
And then McKinney with a block, so a stop for Kentucky. Wildcats aren't done yet, especially if Howard can score here on this trip. Howard changes his shot and finishes. 32 for Ryan Howard. There's a little discrepancy in the building, or it's okay. So it's going to be 33 for Howard. It was a 3-pointer earlier, but they may have to clear things up. Final minute, Caldwell clears it up. The score's important here. We're going with what's in the arena because it's a 10-point game in the final minute after Georgia scores. McKinney to Howard. Howard off balance. Not this time, and Morrison will track it down, and perhaps that's the last chance and the last gasp for Kentucky. Although Kyra Elsie wants Patterson to foul, I do believe. And now she'll give the foul with 33.6 to go.
Well, Ryan Howard trying to put on a show in the last 4 minutes to get her team back in the game, but it also starts with defense. You got to have great defensive presence, and you got to start the game. We have continued to say it takes 40 minutes to win games, and unfortunately for tonight, Kentucky did not come out for 40 minutes and play.
Patterson thought she gave the foul there to send Morrison to the free throw line. That will be the 5th foul. Stopping the clock with less than 30 seconds to go, and Howard will trigger the inbound. Still to come later today, Alabama and South Carolina, Ole Miss and Tennessee to set the rest of the semifinal field here in Greenville. Howard lost her footing, trying not to lose the basketball. Somehow got it to Treasure Hunt. Batted out of play and last touched by Kentucky. It'll be Georgia ball. We'll see if Kentucky fouls here or they just pull back. Out to Bates, and the clock will wind down. Coombs will get it across half court, and that will do it. The Georgia Lady Bulldogs have won 6 of their last 7, and they are moving on to the semifinals of the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament.
Fans, thank you for your support of the 2021
What a performance by these classmates. Morrison, Stady, Connolly, and Maya Caldwell.